Hi everybody, this is Christine. I kind of have a big announcement. Anthony and I got engaged last Tuesday. That is July 13th. We got engaged on July 13th. We're so happy, and I'm so happy, and I recorded like a thing of me singing like a wedding theme song, and I couldn't get through it without crying, like that kind of thing. Like it's that kind of happiness at the moment, and I'm trying to figure like, and I know like I'm trying to be more consistent about putting content up here, but it's just I'm feeling really like introspective and sort of emotionally open just because this is just such a really happy time, and I'm so happy, and I love him so much, guys, and he'll probably hear this, and it's probably gonna be corny, but just I love him, and I hope he knows. And today we're gonna do duet, just because this that feels like kind of a calm introspective thing for me to do. So at least while I'm still like with everything going on, because like I can't imagine myself like recording the Ember Effect right now, because for one, I don't know, like that would leave me crying in a whole different way just because of the insanity that happened last time. But either way, I'm gonna try to get through this. So this is duet. So this is how duet normally goes. So what we're gonna do is we're doing the epilogue this time, and the epilogue has a bunch of different words, and these words are they're actually more about like relationships now I think about it. So this is actually worth it. The first word is trust, and I think I can't express to you like the level of like how good I like not how good I am at like trusting people now, because like it's not that I was ever bad at it or anything, because if anything I'm very open and very trusting with people, but it's just you can be very open and trusting with people, but you can also still be very guarded, and I know I can be very guarded in that like in that respect, and I know like in get it and like getting with Anthony, it was very like we we were very I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it felt like the trust I had in people, like, or at least in people I was dating, was a very not like a superficial trust, but it was less open than it is now, because I I knew in like other with like other people I could be judged, like it's very easy to like be judged, and I'm very and I can get kind of used to that, and I think in this relationship and with my fiance, which is crazy. The word fiance is like I keep like trying to test. I keep like testing out the word, and that part is still really great. Like just how like it's so new and different, and I I can I cannot tell you the last time I felt like this content, not even about a relationship, but just about a decision. Like there's nothing, I can't think of any decision I felt better about in recent years or in the last like decade or so that wasn't me saying yes in this moment, in that moment. And it wasn't even necessary, like, because it wasn't like it was definitely a surprise like how it happened, but like we've been talking about getting married for and having a family and all that stuff for like a while now, and he's had his yes for a very long time, and it it felt really good to be able to acknowledge that yes out loud, and that part has been amazing. Okay, understanding is the next word. Okay, so that is it's all okay, I'm like reading it. Oh, I forgot how annoying these levels were. Crap, because like these levels are like angular, so you have to sort of see your pattern through them. This was a crazy. This game gets crazy after you finish story mode. But anyway, understanding. I mean, like understanding is sort of a different part of trust, I guess. And I I feel like I've been more understanding about like not even necessarily like differing opinions, because there's but like yeah about differing opinions, because like there's a lot of stuff that like Anthony and I like disagree on, like I know, like Lord knows it's very difficult for us to pick a movie at the end of like a long day. We're both at work and like, do you want to watch a movie? And I'll be like, I want to watch like a documentary that I heard about on like Netflix or Reddit or somewhere. And he'll be like, no, like we can, but like, can we not? And like I totally get it, and I'm just trying. And I think like even living together, like that's been like an interesting sort of adjustment. And also like understanding certain things where it's like there's a lot of different times where we're like we're trying to figure out what to make for dinner that week, and I can be very happy just sort of eating the same things in like any given day, where I can be like, oh, I'm gonna meal prep like a bunch of like sort of similar meals for the week, and I'm gonna be happy with that for like the week. And Anthony's not really like that. Like Anthony likes I like cooking too, but like Anthony really likes cooking, and he's good at it. Like he's much better at it than me. Like he knows how to cook better than I do. I just sort of make things up as I go along, and he also makes things up as he goes along, but there's like an education behind it, and I'm really, really appreciative of that. And I think that's been really, really fun, because I feel like it's not even just like we love each other, like I love him, it's just that I'm learning from him. Like him being in my life makes me a better person. Maybe not like a better person morally, because like I think if any relationship drastically changes or like lowers your moral standards, then that's not good. But like I'm talking about like he's made me re-examine like certain opinions I've held that like weren't that don't make sense, and that like maybe I picked up from other places, and he's like his influence in my life has helped me like re-examine friendships that weren't really serving me and weren't really and were making me kind of a worse person, you know? And I think like even vice versa, I'd like to think that I've helped open up his world in some way too. Not that our worlds weren't open before, but it's more that our worlds are more open to each other, and I think that's really, really great. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of like vow material here, but you know what? Like it feels worth it. It feels like this feels like the right thing to be recording in this moment, and hopefully nobody feels weird that I'm literally bearing my soul while these two balls go around all these white things. Oh, control. Okay, so when it comes to like control, I guess like the thing I can think about is like the thing that my first thought is control issues and different things like that, where it's very difficult to have a sense of what you can control, what you can't control, and like the kind of ways that you're trying to make things happen in your life. And for one, like I think that's one thing that I think of, but another thing I think of is sort of like taking control of one's life, where I've been in situations where I've sort of been very submissive is probably the right word, even though it's like kind of a loaded one. I've been like more submissive to other people's plans for me, and I've worked really hard to get those plans going without like the person who wants those things for me, like either helping me do it or being appreciative of me for putting the work in to make their plans a reality, or just people having expectations of me, or people wanting me to do things that I don't want to do, or that I don't want to do at the moment, or that's just not right for me. And then it's not just like control issues, it's also being able to say no to the things that other people want, like saying no to things that go against your identity, which is the next section. So I've worked really hard, I think, to establish a sort of identity, like I can't talk today. I've worked really hard to establish a kind of a sense of my own identity, and like all these different sort of things for myself where I know who I am, because like I'm kind of a person who can change around other people, not necessarily on purpose, just because certain people get a different side of me than other people do. Like I think like some of my best friends would have told me like it's very different. Like it's sometimes we'll be in different environments and I won't, for them, it's not like I'm not myself, you know, but like I am myself. It's just sort of different environments bring those different things out of me. And I honestly, this is where we're gonna get back to the lovey-dovey shit again, because that's one thing I think about Anthony that I really, really appreciate, is that I don't think there's any side of me or any sort of like version of me that he hasn't seen, that he hasn't liked in some way, or that he hasn't felt like he couldn't love. And so there's the part of me that can like shoot the shit about like literary tropes with Joey, or like I can go out to like a party with my cousin, or travel with her, geez, and travel with her without him, which I've done before. And I think, let me finish this before I get into initiative. The idea of that, like, I think like I'm so happy that I've found someone who sees every side of me and loves those sides of me, and in spite of and because of those sides, like despite and because of those different sides and how they work together. But anyway, initiative. So I think one thing that I feel like I have to take initiative for is I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And that's another thing that like Anthony, like if anything, just today Anthony was like, hey, I only need you to do one thing today, which is wash the dishes. And I have started that, and then I got distracted. Like I went to like take a shower and like all that other stuff, like just stuff to do at the end of the day, and I'm gonna get the dishes done, I promise. And Anthony, it is 11:45 on July 17th. I will tell you, I promise you, you can count it here. The dishes were done when you got home, and if they weren't, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I promise you they'll be done. But like that's another thing, like like when it comes to like initiative, like I'm okay with like doing things that I don't want to do. It's just doing them in the time that I want to do them, even though it's not really how life works. And I think also one thing that is going to be just sort of a fun challenge going forward is like taking initiative to sort of being like, okay, like this is what we want for like our wedding. This is what we want for like what we're going to live in the next like few years and that kind of thing. Like I'm really excited to do all that stuff, and oh no, I'm not gonna cry like a bitch. I refuse. I'm not gonna do it. Many decisions change our lives forever, and this is one of them, and it makes me so happy that I'm doing it. I'm doing this with this person, that we are doing this together. Like I keep saying I'm doing this with Anthony, but like we're doing it together. Like it's not like he picked me or I picked him. It's like we found each other and we chose each other, and I think that's beautiful. I don't remember what the next word is. I'm gonna keep going on and on about initiative, and it's gonna keep going back to like how fucking in love I am and shit. But let's see. Oh, okay, intimacy. Oh, geez. All right, so this is like gonna be even more lovey-dovey stuff. A huge thing for me has been, at least in this relationship, has been sort of like relearning that I'm safe, and I can be a person who is open and not feel afraid that I'm going to be judged for. I think I've said that in like understanding, but it's more like I'm trying. It's like I'm trying to say something else, even though I'm not really saying a different thing at this point. I've never, like, it's very, very rare, and it actually, like, I think I've only felt that level of like lack of judgment from like a few people, and those people have been like my best friends. It's never been like family, and that's another thing that I think is kind of huge. It's that it's not even just like this is like gonna be my husband. This is my family, and this is going and like and once we get married, we're immediate family. Like that's my person, and that's my person. And oh no, 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 we're not gonna cry again. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna be like I'm sitting here like contemplating our love and shit, and I'm crying, like Jesus Christ. But anyway, but I think that is sort of beautiful in its own way, and I can't. And I think I'm sort of like frustrated because I'm trying to express these sort of deep, profound things, and I'm very good at doing that, like writing. Like I think if I was able to write this all out first, it would be a lot easier for me. But it's not easy for me at this point. I'm just sort of I'm doing my best, and I'm just trying to be I'm just trying to like be honest, and I think my fear is that I wouldn't want him to feel like I could only speak this openly like on camera, like in front of an audience, because I think I've said things like this to him certainly, and then he'll get verklempt about it sometimes, but then like there's a lot of times where like, but most of the time it's him, like where he's like he'll just look at me and he'll be like, I love you and you're beautiful, and there's not one thing about me that he doesn't like, and it makes me feel safe in a way that is, I think, very difficult to write out without like waterlogging your phone or crying all over your paper. So vow writing is going to be super fun if that is in fact something that we're going to do. It's just like we're engaged, and this is like the beginning. Like it doesn't even necessarily, like it's like a huge like sort of milestone for us, because like this is a brand new chapter of our lives, and this is like a new phase of our relationship. But it's not even just that like we're sort of leveling up as a couple, it's that we have so far to go, and we have like all these different challenges that we're going to face, and it's going to be great. It's going to be so worth it. And I'm really excited to I'm really excited to like wedding plan, like not even because like I want like a super nice wedding, which I do, I want a nice wedding, but like I want to marry this man, and that's just what it comes down to. I really, really want to marry this man, and it's not even necessarily that I want to like get it all done right now so I can marry him right now, as I want to marry him in the time that is right for us. And like we got engaged in a time that was right for us. Like if anything, I think he would tell you that like the rings, because we were discussing rings like a while ago, and I was showing him stuff, and my taste in rings was tacky, and my ring now, like the one that he chose for me based on like the stuff that I showed him, is beautiful, and I like stare at it all the time. I'm staring at it right now, and my heart is literally so full, and I think that's why I'm like recording this right now, is because I think I wanted like some sort of stream of consciousness documentation of how I felt in this moment and how I've been feeling this week. And how I've been feeling this week is like the luckiest person in the entire world to know that like I'm with somebody that I love so dearly and so deeply, and that person loves me, and that person sees me in a way that I cannot really in a way that I can't necessarily comprehend, because I can't see myself outside of myself, but he does, and he'll see me like sort of kind of bitching about the same stuff and maybe like complaining about work a little bit, but he's still with me, and like not that he's still with me, but like he still sees me as a beautiful person with like, and like he sees himself as just as lucky as I feel with him, and that part's been great. Did I miss a word? I think the next word should be integrity. I'm pretty sure it's integrity. So okay, so the thing about integrity, I think, is I'm kind of a person who likes to be, I like, not that, okay, I mentioned before that I'm not always consistent in how I present myself, because I'm different in different situations, I'm different around different people, and it's not necessarily that I'm like putting on airs or I'm trying to be fake. It's just, that's just how I am in certain things. I mask a little, because I'm on the spectrum. I mask, like that's just something that adult autistic women know how to do really well. And one thing that I would like to, I would hope has never been inconsistent about me is my sense of morality and my sense of what's right and what's wrong. And I'm gonna always try to like be a person that stands up for different, for like what I believe in, even if it means I'm gonna like start a fight. Actually, this is actually something like to bring it back to engagement wedding shit, is I have some relatives that are like sort of anti-vax and anti-everything, and I have no problem being like, hey, like your anti-vaccine drivel like upsets me deeply, because I'm an autistic person, and some doctor who got his license revoked says that vaccines cause autism, and you believe it and you make it like a whole thing for like yourself. Your experience is one thing, but I'm not vaccine injured. I'm autistic. There's a difference. Like, if you have a problem with if you have a problem with me, like as your relative, and like my autism, that's kind of too bad. And that's one thing that is sort of upsetting to me, where people are like, that's a huge thing that upsets me about the anti-vaxxer community, because like it feels like, I mentioned this to my family the last time they had a conversation about this, is that it's like, it feels like you have a problem with like you feel like you have less of a problem with vaccines and more of a problem with me and like my pathology as a person, and like, or like, I'm saying pathology, but it's more like you see it as a pathology, not necessarily as that's just who I am as a person. Like, I'm a person who sometimes has trouble eating at restaurants because the food isn't the same, and the food isn't like what I'm expecting. And that was a huge thing, and that's a huge thing that Anthony's actually helped with, because he's also like, he's like me, but he doesn't have the food, he doesn't have the food texture version. He doesn't, that's not how his, like, a lot of his, that's not how that part of his sensory processing works. So he's fine in like new restaurants, and he's so patient with me, and he'll be like, hey, like, this is this thing, it is kind of like this thing that you've had before, just give it a shot, no one will be mad at you if you don't like it. And that has been huge for me, because I used to cook before him, but like, I was just sort of cooking like sort of like for survival, but now like I know how to make things taste good. I know how to like properly season meat. I'm actually marinating chicken right now, and that part's been really great, and like, that's a huge skill that he's taught me. And this has nothing to do with integrity anymore, but like, let me go back to integrity. Integrity is being true to yourself, and being open about what you believe in, and standing up for what you believe in, and being the best person that you can possibly be in a given moment. And I'd like to think that I do that, and I would like to think that my friends and Anthony and my family, they see that even if they don't agree with me, that I'm consistent in my ideals, and that I'm willing to fight for them, and that's something that about me that they can respect. this whole thing is going to be a huge jumble, because the way that I record this, I'm gonna have trouble editing it to get out all these ums and likes and stuff, and I think that's my problem at the moment. But anyway, I'm really happy that I did this, just because or at least I'm really happy that I'm recording this at the moment. Like, not that I did this, like, I'm not doing anything evil, but like, I'm really happy that I'm recording this, because I feel like this is sort of a microcosm of how I'm feeling in this moment, and like how happy I am, and how great everything is gonna be. And even if things get hard, or even if things get kind of strange, I'm still here, and we're here together, and Anthony's here with me, and I'm here with him, and no matter what we have, no matter what challenges are ahead of us, whether it's trying to figure out what the hell we're gonna do about a wedding cake when one of us doesn't like chocolate and the other doesn't like cake, because I can eat chocolate. I can eat like chocolate cake, but I don't like frosting like that. But then Anthony, he likes cake, but he doesn't really like chocolate. So like that part's gonna be fun, and it's like those little challenges and the big challenges of like, how are we going to like set boundaries if people start stepping on a line, and what are our kids gonna be like, and that kind of thing. And if anything, the internet is sort of forever. So like, I think if we have kids and my kid is old enough to find this YouTube channel, if I'm still running it in 10, 15, 20 years, when I have a teenager who can start looking for things on YouTube, I hope my kid can find this and they can see how much I loved their dad. And crap, I'm gonna start crying. That was like a super emotional thing I just said. And yeah, that's one thing I'm really hoping for. Like, not necessarily that my kids find this or whatever, because I'm sure some of the other videos in this are gonna be cringy and they're not gonna respect their mom anymore. But I hope they know. I hope that like our kids, they grow up in a house that's full of love, and they never are made to feel like we were made to feel sometimes in our respective homes. Like, we were sort of the weird ones, and we needed help and guidance for everything, even for things that we knew how to do ourselves. I want to make sure that we have everything that I want to make sure that we do everything that we can to be the best parents that we can be, the best husband and wife we could probably be. And I'm so happy, guys. And it's over. I beat integrity. The notification went down. I don't think anyone sees it, but yeah, epilogue is over. You are not alone, and I'm not, and I'll never be again. And when I marry Anthony, when I marry that man, like, I'll never be alone again. And that part is special, and that part is great. And anyway, the video is basically over now, and I'm gonna cut myself off here before I make myself cry again. The next one is Encore. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try to do it as soon as I can, or at least I'm gonna try to do it the next time I'm feeling super introspective. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you some other time. Bye.